Hello and welcome to VCT Pacific Night Market. I'm Achilios, that's Paperthin, and if you're looking for some bargains here in Pacific, then boy, we have some great deals for you here today.
That's exactly right. We've got roster moves, everybody wants them, people are going crazy over them, and they are usually sold out by the end of the offseason.
And we also have some new names entering the market with 25% more Ascension players than ever before.
And which of these are going to be the hottest teams coming into 2025? We've got something for everybody, but first, let's take a look at some of the in-game changes we're going to be seeing coming into the new year.
Hi there. Do you have a problem with insufferable neon plays? Are you sick and tired of all the sliding and RNG problems? Do you ever wonder when we'll be getting rid of Ascent? Well, we got just the right thing for you. Presenting the Neon Nerf. Say goodbye to double slides with Neon Nerf. Less of that high gear lifestyle, less into overdrive. So your ranked game can be safe once again. Users have said that since using Neon Nerf, they've been using Phoenix instead for better pushes and self-healing.
Yeah, I think Neon was super overpowered. But the good news is at least no more shotguns in my face, no more shotguns in my teammates' face, you know. But on the flip side, I can't watch Jason do it to other people, which was actually very hilarious.
If you like the Neon Nerf, you'll love some of our other products too. Check out the Regen Shield, a shield that's easy on the wallet with better results. And another awaited product, Buy Ascent. Say goodbye to Ascent and Sunset and have some fun on Fracture and Lotus. Order the Neon Nerf, Regen Shield, and Buy Ascent all together and you'll get some free Colombian coffee.
Senora.
My games have changed for the better. Yours can too, with Neon Nerf. Remember to use the Neon Nerf in moderation. Side effects may include more vice gameplay and an inability to one-way smoke as you did before as Omen. Consult your coaches before playing.
Whew, what a product. I don't know about you, Paperthin, though, but I am very much looking forward to Fracture being back in the map pool.
Oh, no doubt about it. Me too. And I am so excited for our new agent, Tejo. And also for you Execute Heavy fans, I think you're really going to like this new initiator.
Now, let's go ahead and get into this show. Throughout, we are going to be telling you guys what we recommend you might want to look at, what you should dabble through here with these products, which ones you can maybe leave on your wish list, but the ones as well that you must absolutely buy now. Let's get right into what's in store for you here in 2025.
Now, as you all know, we've got our fantastic Pacific collection here. We've got some of our fan favorites. We've got Paper Rex. We've got Genji. We've got some of the more acquired tastes like RRQ and DFM. And this year, we've got two new exciting additions to our lineup. We've got Nongshim Red Force, and we have Boom Esports.
Now, I feel like a lot of people know what to expect with Boom. They've been around for a while, but for this specific collection, we've added a special ingredient from Kazakhstan.
Absolutely, I think we're all really excited about DOS9.
You know, people who've been around for a while will remember them back at Champs, you know, for several years. Their run over at Istanbul, being able to take that map, the massive kills that we saw dropped on that game of Breeze versus the likes of Optic. This is a known quantity team, and it's great to finally see them getting their moment in the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a staple of Indonesian Valorant. Obviously, at the Ascension Finals, they came up just short of winning it in one of the best matches you will ever see with that 3-2 scoreline. Yeah, so I think going into 2025 for me, Boom definitely on my wish list. A team that I can see doing well, but it is, I think, going to be a little bit of a learning process for them coming into the new year.
I agree. With everybody else seemingly leveling up their power levels, I think it's going to be still a bit of a struggle here for that Tier 2 squad coming into Tier 1 for the first time. But I think something that goes along with Boom maybe a little bit more is Nongshim Red Force right here. I think that it's a spicy combination between the two of them. So hot that maybe you need to step into the shower.
Oh, you might say they're in a bit of a bind.
Anyway, speaking about Nongshim, I mean, this is a powerful variant, a team that started off in the Premier League, made their way through to Challengers, then into Ascension to be able to take it all. It's been an incredible journey for this squad, and I could not be happier to have them here in VCT Pacific.
Absolutely. They looked so dominant in Ascension up until that grand finals, right? They didn't drop a single map along the way. So many amazing moments throughout that series for them. I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about Persia, who's been playing out of his mind for that team for a long time.
Nongshim Red Force looking great, but I'm still going to leave them on my wish list. The nerfs to Neon coming through makes me a little bit curious. We know that Dambi can play other things at a high level, but I'm gonna need to see a little bit more of that before I'm gonna be a firm believer.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, any team coming from Ascension is going to have a rough time. So I am also going to leave them there, but I have pretty high hopes for the squad.
That's why we have a special buy one, get one free promo. Buy the team of your choice, get the other one thrown in for free. Call 1-800-RISE Pacific right now to take advantage of this promotion. Well, if we're talking 2025, we of course have something new to put on display for you guys. New energy, new faces, as we have plenty of new players joining here in Pacific in 2025.
We saw some outstanding plays from our rookies in 2024, the likes of Primi, May, Flashback, Bane, and of course it goes without saying Karan, who is instrumental in helping Gen G lift their trophy last year.
Absolutely, and there's plenty more rookies to dive into. Now, something that I know excites you, Paperthin, is the rookies coming out of Japan, specifically the ones here on DFM.
Oh, no doubt about it. This is a team that has brought in 4 new players to back up May, and they have looked outstanding during the offseason. There is a lot of hype around this Japanese squad now. So first, Gen, new player coming in, hasn't played as much in the offseason as some, but there's a lot of hope for him to be good. Next up, Art, the new IGL, and he has impressed the heck out of me. They have been making great play calls throughout the offseason.
Makes me not hate the Odin.
Jinbung, a player that you and I know and love for a long time.
Absolutely.
Korean superstar, absolutely could pop off at any given moment. Really, really hyped about him, but maybe even more so, Akame. Been fragging out of his mind during the offseason. This is one of the players to watch out for. Can pop off right alongside May.
And I think that maybe for the first time, DFM, I'm looking as a must buy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, actually. For me, must buy. I am so blown away with what we saw at the Asia Invitational in the offseason. I think this team could really do some damage. I'm expecting them to make an international.
Well, now that we're on the topic here of a Japanese squad, we of course have to talk about our other one who has also made some changes, and that's going to be Zeta Division.
A lot of hype coming in for this squad in the offseason because they're bringing in some new, really strong players from the Challengers League in Japan. Of course, XDL, an initiator, maybe a little bit of flex in there as well. Next up, Clues, the IGL superstar. Everybody in Japan is talking about him as the next big thing.
Big shoes to fill, replacing Laz in that position, but so far has been looking strong. But lastly,
Jota, the cracked aimer himself, absolutely the next depth potentially. A lot of people talk about him as a guy who could step up and be that fragger when you need him most. Clutch potential through the roof.
and the fact that they're right there alongside each other, he and Depp lead the charge for Zeta, does instill some big hope for the Japanese scene alongside DFM. Paperthin, where are you leaning here on Zeta as far as purchase power?
I was a little bit disappointed with what I saw in the offseason, so I think I'm gonna have to go with recommend.
Maybe go for a purchase here in a little bit after seeing the opening at Kickoff. But for now, I am going to be a little bit hesitant on it, but I think that there's an immense amount of potential here for this team. Now let's get everybody brushed up on some of our new Korean talent that's coming through, because we've seen changes across the board as well, as now we have DRX. Take a little zoom in on this squad.
Ooh, we've got 2 new players coming in for you this year. First up, Hyunmin, really exciting player here, a duelist. Very, very strong.
That's right, Hyunmin, he's got some big shoes to fill, but he does have some guidance here from his new IGL, Freeing.
This is a player who's been around for a long time. OG Korea fans are going to remember him on Ang Dark Horse, played for Rare Atom last year, an info initiator specialist, and as you mentioned, an IGL extraordinaire. So DRX, bringing in some young players again, having to rebuild a little bit. How you feeling about this one?
Oh, this is always a tough quandary for me. And overall, I think I really like the direction that DRX is going in. In the end, I think this is going to end up being a must-buy for me. I just kind of have to go for it no matter what, so there you go.
The DRX man himself says must buy. I'm gonna go with a recommend, but I'm really leaning towards must buy. I think the coaching staff for DRX always does such a good job. They seem to always have them ready to play. So I am like leaning really close to must buy, but I'll go with recommend.
Now next up, of course, we have none other than Gen G, but just the one change, just the one rookie coming in this year.
However, this is one of the biggest, one of the hottest changes, one of the most desired players in all of Korea, Yo-Man, an IGL previously. Now with Munchkin there, it seems like maybe there'll be some interesting decisions with how they balance those roles. However,
a side calling.
Absolutely, but a strong info initiator player and has proven himself throughout his career.
Gen G must buy, recommend, or wish list for you?
Feeling must buy. I feel like this team still looks really strong.
Absolutely. I'm 100% right there with you. Must buy here for Gen G, still looking to be a dominant force in Pacific. Now, of course, we have one more Korean rookie player to talk about, but we have to go over to a different part of the world with global esports coming through.
Quite a rebuild coming through for global esports, but I'm pretty excited. So, Udotan, he's been playing some Sentinels. He's looking really, really powerful for this team.
Now we'll take a look here.
Patrick. Patrick is an interesting player because he is an up-and-coming talent from the Philippines. A lot of people talking about this guy. Can he step up into that duelist role and really pop off?
Pressure going to be on his shoulders, but he's got plenty of reinforcements.
Absolutely. Poppy, a player that we are very familiar with from Nous Esports, has been a tremendous force for them in our Ascension events. Now he's getting an opportunity with GE.
And has already shown during some of these off-season events that he can absolutely click on heads, much like this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelly S., another good player, came from Oasis Esports from the Philippines, another strong competitor from that region for global esports. Really looking to see what they can do with a lot of these new Filipino players.
Yeah, and also looking like a very strong IGL already, but of course has some very solid side calling from this guy right here.
Well, absolutely. Crystal is one of the best to play outside of Tier 1. He has won 2 different Ascensions in 2 different regions. He's been popping off every time, steps up when it matters the most. This is a player you have to be excited about.
But the ultimate question is, where are you falling here as far as a purchase?
It's tough. I mean, they're bringing in 2 new coaches in Juvenile and Elevated, from Americas and EMEA respectively. But what are they going to be able to do? I think I'm putting them on my wish list for now.
I think I'm right there with you. And I think I've become increasingly convinced as I've watched them a little bit more time after time in the off season. Some improvements there. But until it's fully untapped, I'm just gonna leave them on the wish list for the moment. So we've already spoken ad nauseum about Boom and Nongshim and why we're so excited about them. But we have one last rookie player to go ahead and cover, and that's here on the side of RRQ.
Ooh, Cushy, very excited for this player. Another info initiator. He has been so strong for Alter Ego in the past. This is a player that everyone in Indonesia had their eyes on, so really exciting for RRQ to pick him up.
But we'll have plenty of time to talk about Cushy and the rest of RRQ a little bit later on. For now, dial in and we may just send you the new 2025 Rookie Starter Pack for free. That's 1-800-RISE Pacific. Call in now.
But wait, there's more. We forgot about this rookie.
Oh, Paperthin, you silly Billy. That's no rookie. That's part of our Roster Mania special.
All right, we've got 4 exclusive switcheroos, and I'm telling you all, this will change your life.
Take a look at this guy right here. Look at the before and after. Such incredible changes. Everyone is so hyped for this.
And what do we have here? This is Meteor, the Sentinel Extraordinaire player. Did phenomenal on Gen G, moving over to T1. What is he gonna be capable of? Can he outdo himself in 2025?
But we also have to talk about this one over here. Foxy9 making the change from DRX over to Gen G.
And Foxy has proven himself to be a tremendous, flexible player. But last but not least, we have the return of the Controller Extraordinaire, Sylvan. This guy's got a lot of clutch potential.
Absolutely does, and looking like a fantastic comeback story from this player that we did not get to see in the last season. But now with T1 all complete, it's time to assess. We have so many strong components here. How do you feel about T1 going into the 2025 season?
Has to be a must buy, right? This team is looking like they are world beaters. They are looking like they might lift a trophy themselves this year.
I'm absolutely right there with you. I think that it's going to be a big race to the top between them and Gen G. Of course, you also have Stax and Izu there on this roster. Tons of firepower, tons of veterancy. I think that you absolutely must buy. These are going to change the game here in 2025. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-RISE Pacific before you miss out on all of this roster mania. That's 1-800-RISE Pacific.
Okay, we are almost done, but how can we talk about Pacific without bringing back some of our favorites from last year?
What about those teams that have barely changed or not even changed at all? The teams, these are the classic sets.
When you talk about fan favorites, you have to talk about PRX, one of our best sellers in Pacific.
One of the longest running rosters here in VCT, but also a team that's now starting to innovate even more. W Gaming still there, but now we're starting to see PaperX experimenting with some more standard compositions as well as flexing Jing over to some roles that we've not seen him on before.
We know what they're capable of. We've seen them get to so many international events. I kind of expect the same with them this year.
And one other thing that really makes me believe in PaperX is the map pool coming through. It seems to very much suit them. Sunset, sure, a map that they're going to be very comfortable on. So with Fracture coming back into the mix, I think PaperX is going to be a damn scary team. For me, this is absolutely a must-buy.
Must buy. Period. End of story.
Well, next up, we have the only team that can sometimes counteract Paper Rex, and that, of course, is going to be Team Secret. Haven't changed anything going into this season, but my God, when they do hit, they hit hard.
Yeah, this is a team that the fans are really hoping can step up. Will this be their year? Will they have that big moment? Can Jesse Vash lead another team to a Masters or a Champions? Those are the big questions we have with them.
Yeah, can they get over that hurdle? And there's going to be a little bit of additional pressure coming through now that Global has picked up a couple of Filipino players in their own right. So onus is on Team Secret to be the team that can dominate and can push that Pinoy pride out to the forefront here in VCT Pacific.
All right, so how you feeling about them? Are you buying Secret this year?
Never buying.
Never buying. I'm going to recommend Team Secret. They surprise us when we least expect it.
I'm not going to do that, but I am going to recommend that we move on to our next team, and that is, of course, going to be RRQ. Now, this set has kept its core, but they have had that one new addition in Cushy.
And with Cushy coming into the squad, you have to feel comfortable for RRQ fans, no doubt about it. You do have Warbirds coming in with this squad now to kind of help out. So I feel very confident in this team.
And one thing to touch on is they finally had gotten over that hurdle last year, made it into the playoffs. I'm right there with you. For me, RRQ, this is one of those ones that I am recommending. I think that there is so much potential. It's not quite at that must-buy level yet. I think that this is going to be a very strong year for them.
I'm right there with you. I'm going to go with recommend, so I'm going to continue to believe that they can push it to the next level.
Now, last but definitely not least, we have Talon. And after what they were able to accomplish last year, we had to bring this squad back. Primi here, all the same squad that we saw go over to Champions last year.
I think people should be feeling confident about Talon. Bringing in a rookie at the very last minute to get them over the line, to get to Champions. Now, coming into this next year, you should have more time to prepare. You should have more time for Frost to work with these boys.
We've gotten to see them a decent amount here during the offseason, and I think we've seen some ups and downs, but a lot of experimentation. And I think that that's something that Talon has always been very good at, and I think that we're going to see a very solid foundation at the start of 2025. This is still very much a team to be feared. If Primi is firing on all cylinders, then he's just damn near unstoppable.
I'm still at the recommend stage for Talon. I'm not quite to the must buy, but I could definitely feel myself thinking by the halfway mark of the year, I could be there.
I'm absolutely right there with you. I think that with a deeper run at Champions and maybe a trophy here in the offseason, or at least a couple of accolades accrued there, I would be going for that must buy. I'm kind of teetering on that edge. And if they can find consistency, then my God, it's going to have to be a must buy. You're going to have to pull the trigger on that first.
So call in right now, folks, to secure these sets. We don't know how long these are going to be available for, so you don't want to miss out. Call 1-800-RISE-PACIFIC right now.
Well, before we go, let's take a look at our recommendations here so you guys can use this as a guide for VCT Pacific 2025.
And quite surprisingly this year, you and I are pretty much aligned on most of the teams.
Yeah, just a couple little outliers there. You know, me going for DRX, of course. Both of us surprisingly also having very heavy expectations for DFM.
I mean, how crazy is that? Last year, DFM, we were so excited they get their first win, and now we're looking at this team to maybe be making an international competition.
And that's the beauty about VCT Pacific. You never know who's going to be able to come out on top.
That's right. Kickoff is right upon us. We still have all kinds of time to figure out who the next Kings of Pacific are going to be.
So stay tuned.
It's all your favorite VCT Pacific action back once again.
More screams, more laughter, and more heart-stopping plays with Boom vs. T1, GE vs. Team Secret, DFM vs. RRQ, and Zeta vs. Nongxin.
All when VCT Pacific returns. New season begins January 18.
Well, that about wraps up all the products that we have for you guys today. And I don't know about you, Paperthin, but I think I'm going to be taking these 4 home with me right here.
Oh, I can't blame you at all. I'm thinking maybe taking this one home to the family. Can't wait to see the looks on their faces when I walk in with this.
Once again, if you see something you like, call 1-800-RISE-PACIFIC right now.
And remember, it's free delivery for all Pacific regions. So if you order now, you can get these babies in your hands by January 18th, 2025.
Don't miss this opportunity to complete your Pacific collection. Get on the phone now.